Have you ever stopped to think that there's a kind of music hidden inside the words we speak every single day? It's right there, in the sound of our language. Well, today, we're going to tune our ears in and really listen to the secret harmony of English vowels.
And really, this quote says it all. Vowels aren't just these static letters on a page, right? They're the actual musical notes that give our words melody and rhythm. And getting a feel for this is, well, it's the key to appreciating just how beautifully structured our language is.
So if a single vowel is like a single note, what happens when two of them show up side by side in a word? Well, that's where things get really interesting. That's where the harmony begins.
We call this a vowel digraph, and the best way to think about it is like a chord in music. You've got two separate notes, but when you play them together, what do you get? You get one single unified sound. It's a total team effort.
You know, we all get this on an intuitive level. Think about the word boat. The O and the A don't make two separate sounds, do they? We don't say bow at. No, of course not. They merge together to create one smooth, long O sound. And that right there is a vowel digraph in action.
Okay, so how are we supposed to know what sound these vowel pairs are going to make? Well, lucky for us, there's a main melody, a really simple rule that actually governs a huge number of words in English.
I bet you remember this one from school. When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. It's such a simple little rhyme, but it's amazing how often it's true. Basically, the first vowel says its name, its long sound, and the second one just kind of stays quiet.
This whole principle creates this really elegant, predictable pattern. For instance, in rain, it's the A that does the talking. In tree, the first E is the one that speaks up. In boat, it's the O, and yep, you guessed it, in blue, the U takes the lead. The second vowel in all these pairs, it's just there for silent support.
But you knew it couldn't be that simple, right? Of course it doesn't stop there. Like any really good piece of music, our language has these subtle, more complex rules. It's not just about what sound the vowels make, but where in the word they decide to make it.
Just look at the pairs AI and AY. They both sing the exact same note, that long A sound, like in rain and play. But check this out, they have different jobs. A almost always shows up in the middle of a word, while AY likes to take the stage at the very end. They know their place.
So what happens when the harmony starts to get a little tricky? Well, just like a great song needs some tension and release, our language has these moments of surprise, what you could call dissonance, where the rules seem to bend a little.
And this leads us to the big question, doesn't it? Is that simple little rhyme we learned as kids, is it foolproof? Can we really rely on it all the time?
And the answer, maybe unsurprisingly, is no, not always. And for our first example, I want you to meet the most famous rebel in the vowel digraph world, the pair EA. This little team, they love to keep us on our toes.
Okay, so sometimes E plays by the rules perfectly. In words like eat or see, that first vowel, the E, does all the talking, giving us that long E sound. But then you get words like bread or head, where all of a sudden the pair makes a short eh sound. We're talking same letters, but a completely different musical note.
And in the A isn't the only one with this kind of dual personality. Oh no, the oo digraph does the exact same thing. Just think about the long, drawn-out sound in moon versus that short, clipped sound in book. Same letters, two totally different sounds.
So what's the big takeaway here? Well, it's not about memorizing a giant list of rigid rules. It's really about developing an ear for the patterns and just understanding that sometimes the same chord can be played in more than one way.
And this brings us right to our key takeaway. How do we actually learn to hear this complex melody? The trick isn't to get frustrated by the exceptions, but to have a strategy for navigating them.
So here's a super simple, practical way to think about it. When you see a word with a vowel team, first things first, just assume the main rule applies. The first vowel does the talking. Try saying it out loud. If it doesn't sound like a real word, then you just move to step 3 and try out one of the common exceptions, like that short sound for EA or oo. This skill actually has a name. It's called phonemic flexibility. It's just the ability to mentally swap out different sounds for the same letters until you find the one that fits. It's exactly like a musician trying a major chord, realizing, that doesn't sound right, and then smoothly switching to a minor chord that fits the song perfectly. At the end of the day, these so-called exceptions, they aren't mistakes in the language, not at all.
They're part of its intricate design. They add texture and depth, and learning to navigate them is really about learning to appreciate the beauty of the entire system.
And that brings us to this final really wonderful thought. These vowel pairs are all about unity. They show us two distinct things learning to come together to create something brand new, a single harmonious sound.
So the next time you're reading a word, just take a second to listen. Don't just see the letters. Try to hear the notes, because it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other hidden music is just waiting to be discovered in the words we use every single day?